Today marks 1 year since Jacob Blake was shot by police who were responding to a domestic dispute in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The event ignited violent and deadly uproar, not only in Wisconsin, but across America in the months that followed, adding fuel to an already violent summer of protests against police a year ago. Wisconsin Congressman Bryan Steil oversees the city of Kenosha as part of his district, and he joins us right now. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So give us an update. What has happened in Kenosha over the last year?
We've made a lot of progress over the last year, but we had 3 terrible nights last summer when our Democratic governor, Governor Evers, failed to provide the resources that were needed to end criminal behavior in the city of Wisconsin, in the city of Kenosha. It's what we saw play out across the United States. Our Democratic governor, like liberals across the United States, failed to draw the bright line between a First Amendment right and criminal activity. And the result was played out on TV screens across the United States of America. The city's come a long way since then. I walked the 4th of July parade just the other day. There's still scars. There's still a handful of buildings boarded up with signs pointing out that people live in those buildings, to asking those protesters and those rioters not to burn down those buildings. But overall, the city's come back strong, and it's going to come back ultimately stronger than ever before.
Sure. And Congressman, as we look at the destruction from a year ago, what's the status of charges against the people who lit the businesses on fire and destroyed property?
There is a lack of accountability for many of those individuals who engaged in criminal behavior. What we should have had was sufficient resources beginning on night 1 to arrest those individuals engaging in criminal activity. Unfortunately, our Democratic governor, like liberals across the United States, failed to provide sufficient resources to arrest criminals engaging in criminal behavior. And the result is many individuals who are engaged in that type of behavior, whether or not it was burning down buildings or serious bodily injury, are failing to be held accountable right now in Kenosha and across the United States.
Well, one famous case is that of Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old who carried an assault-style rifle to the area third night, faces homicide and other charges for killing 2 protesters, and his trial is going to be in November. But at the same time, what they were trying to do was bring attention to, they wanted police reform. In Kenosha, do they have more police or less police than they did a year ago now?
They're struggling to recruit. I held a law enforcement roundtable in our community just a few days ago, and what I heard time and again from law enforcement officers, whether or not that's the chief of police or a sheriff or the man on the street, is that we're struggling to recruit law enforcement officers because of the anti-police rhetoric that we have been hearing now for over a year. That's a challenge in Kenosha, and that's a challenge across the United States of America.
It is indeed. All right, Congressman, thank you very much for joining us today from D.C.
Thank you.